Good morning. Wow, look at all those colors. These are the seals of Scorpio. Just saying goodbye to them as we go into Sagittarius. Spent some time this morning really looking at them and really appreciating them, and felt like I needed to capture this time. I don't know that, this time will come again, right? Never happens the same way twice. So I did want to preserve this in video form. So just to kind of explain, you see this little box here with the Zentangle drawn on it. What I've done throughout the month, or throughout the sign of Scorpio, is whenever I'd have a synchronicity, which I hope everybody's living in a state of unity with the universe, making oneself available for those moments of synchronicity when the universe confirms, validates, instructs, sends messages. And I hope you are drawing charts on those and looking at the part of fortune, the point of most effective self-interest. There are many points in the chart you could look at because all points in the chart are valid. But I choose to look at the part of fortune because it is the point of most effective self-interest. So I feel that's a very poignant place to look to find out what in this moment that I'm holding a thought or a feeling or an idea within myself, that the universe sends some sort of a sign to validate that moment. So it's not just, let's say for instance that you are holding a thought of a parent or a loved one in your mind and you're concerned about them or something like that. You have something in your heart, a feeling and a concern. And at that moment, let's say there's a loud thud. I don't know, something's fallen somewhere in the house, or perhaps it's a knock on the door. Something happens in the moment that makes that moment very poignant. You draw a chart, you look at the part of fortune. The part of fortune will tell you what that point of most effective self-interest is and can provide guidance, understanding, enlightenment, an expansion of consciousness. A message could come through, but this is the way. These are the moments of synchronicity. They're your aha moments, but the universe sends a wake-up call in the moment that you've held something on your mind or heart that the chart will further expand awareness of for you. So I live like this and have for many years, but I don't take them for granted, but I do look for the more, like you heard the door close just a minute ago, right? In my room while we were talking. Now, in days gone by, I might have stopped this video, gone back to see exactly what I had said at the exact moment the door closed. You see what I'm saying? I don't do that so much anymore. But it's a great way to start, is just to be aware, just to be available, just to be cognizant that you are interacting with the world, with the universe, and it is interacting with you. All right. Anyway, enough of the lecture. That's why you're seeing what you're seeing, though, is because that's how I live my life. And in using the inner structure of the Sabian symbols, what I do is each day when one of those synchronicities occur, one of those moments, and I've drawn a chart, and I find out what the part of fortune is, I'll take it from my set of cards, I'll go and I'll find it, and I'll put it into the box. I'll take the card out, whatever the part of fortune was, and I'll put it into the box. Therefore, over the whole sign of Scorpio, I've accumulated a whole deck of cards. Now, yes, it occurred on the day the sun was in a certain solar degree. Yes, it occurred on the day when the moon was in a certain phase. Yes, 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 but I've looked at the part of fortune. So I have transmuted all of the day's given meaningfulness into the moment of synchronicity where the universe and I collided, connected, convened. And so I end up with a deck of cards that are very, very personalized for me. Now, we know that Scorpio 1, hold on just a minute, was friendliness, right? Okay, on that day, my part of fortune was Capricorn 13, magic. Now, what's interesting about that for me is that's my 5th house cusp. I know that because we have to know our charts, right? We have to become very familiar with our charts. So if we look down here, by the way, these are all of the cards. These are all the transmutations, transliterations of Scorpio's 30 degrees into messages for me. This is where the universe and I connected in Scorpio. Now in Sagittarius, they'll be different. So when I'm done with the review and appreciation of these, then they will all go back in their boxes. And today will begin Sagittarius 1, and new cards will begin being accumulated. But Capricorn 13, magic, it's how the solar degree of friendliness, Scorpio 1, wanted to teach me about friendliness, was through my 5th house cusp of magic, Capricorn 13. And each one, and for instance, that particular moment of synchronicity happened because I was creating a master list on my computer of all of my taglines for my daughter, who's making journal pages for me, covers, and I was changing the font for all of the taglines so that they would be in conformity. And all of them changed except for Capricorn 13. Now, I've been doing word processing. Oh my goodness, back Ventura, California, laser word, my goodness, back in, I don't even know, 1987. I've been doing word processing. I know WordPerfect, I know Word, I know Excel. I can do all these things, right? I could not get the font to change on Capricorn 13, no matter what I did, no matter how I tried. It would not change. It would not change. It would not go to Times Roman. It stayed in Garamond. Garamond is the font I use to do all of my transcription of astrology lessons that are now about 100 years old of Mark Edmund Jones. And because it wanted to stay in that older font, after trying and struggling, Capricorn 13 wanted to stay that way. And it's my 5th house cusp. What was interesting is when I drew the chart out of frustration because it wouldn't change, what did this mean? I finally got the message. You must ask what this means that it won't change. I got Aquarius 19, concern. Now, if we look on here, there's Aquarius 19, concern. And there's Capricorn. Let me look this up. There's a reason that's sideways Capricorn 13 magic. So each one of these, as you can see, has a story, a real message, a real memory. A real memory. They're very personal now, right? Now, why are certain ones of them turned sideways? Any guesses? It's because I hit both sides of the card. There were 3 instances in the journey in Scorpio where I hit Aries 9, a crystal gazer acuteness, which happens to be my son Travis's solar degree, as well as Libra 9, a cord, which happens to be Mark Edmund Jones' solar degree. I won't go into the stories on that. It's not that I can't. It's just that I don't want to waste your time. These are personal things. That's why we do the inner structure. Okay, that's why we do the inner structure. It's the inner part of us. Another one that I had both sides of was Scorpio 18. Now this happens to be, there were only 2 Scorpio cards, Scorpio 16 and Scorpio 18. They didn't fall on those days, but there were two things that Scorpio had to teach me about Scorpio. Get it? And so Scorpio 18, fulfillment, and Taurus 18 facilitation, which happens to be my daughter Crystal's solar degree. You're going to find things like that as you become familiar with the symbols, right? The other one that I got both sides of, or the axes of, Sagittarius 28 in Old Bridge over a beautiful stream, conservation, which is my daughter Heather's Saturn. It is also the galactic center. Very important symbol. I also got Gem 28, a man declared bankrupt, deliverance. And that also has personal meaning in one of my family members' charts. It's a Mars symbol. One of those symbols people don't like. They should like it. Deliverance and effective and overall resourcefulness in even the worst of situations. You want that card in your pocket, in your wallet? You want to be able to overcome the worst of situations? It's a great card. So all of these cards had personal significance to me in Scorpio. And I just wanted to give thanks. And they all, you know, I've taught, well, anyway, there's my beautiful seals for Scorpio. And just really happy with how this experiment turned out and all that I was able to, you know, to do. I was able to put it down in my journal, right? So I was able to put them all down there. And here we go. We're ready for Sagittarius. There's the first span of Sagittarius. And what is the first span? Receptiveness. The first span. Now, a span is 15 degrees, so that'll take us halfway through the sign. The first span of Sagittarius, which is actually the 17th span in a 24-hour clock, right? 12 signs, 15 degrees and 15 degrees. That's 24 spans. So just like a clock, this is the 17th span, receptiveness. So welcome to Sagittarius. It's time to click our little thing over to experimental. We're entering that experimental phase. And that will include the 6-pointed star of 1, 6, 11, 16, 21, and 26, which will end up being our first seal of Sagittarius. I'll just leave it at that, let you think about that. Just wanted to share with you what a rich, 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 rich pleasure it is to be working with the Sabian symbols and their inner structure. Namaste. Bye-bye.